I just had open up this here episode.
Hey Boston, hey Boston.
Hello.
How many more episodes do we have to record today?
2 more minimum. After this one. They should be short.
Famous last words.
Uh-huh. Hi, Favour. Yeah.
Oh, Nimp, you'll be happy to know I bought shelves for over here, like we were talking about on Wayward Sons.
Oh, yeah?
So hopefully next week I will have extra shelves up here.
There you go.
Nice.
And then some of this accoutrement around my desk, like my Monster Hunter plushies and knocking everything over. My wolf
There you go.
can go and sit up there. I actually launched a Pikachu, which is funny.
What is that massive book you have under your Dune book?
Oh, boy.
It's Dune. It's Dune.
Oh, it's your
and
other
that's
Dune?
Fancy Dune.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Man, that looks so cool.
So this is my Dune book.
Yeah.
This is my full reading Dune book because I can't find my trilogy book, which is somewhere else right now.
His traveling Dune book.
And this is my for display Dune book.
Right.
And
The leather-bound, gold
Yes.
embossed,
yeah,
fancy Dune.
It's got
awesome.
the gold filigree pages.
It's got the Bible pages. Yeah.
crack that open. Yeah, let me see. What's the font look like on that thing?
Give it a good sniff.
Yeah. Tell me, what's the smell? Oh man, that's
Oh,
beautiful.
Is
Tiny font.
tiny
Yeah.
fucking font.
That's the way it should be.
Get out your
Well,
reading glasses.
it's got all the artwork
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Um,
cool as hell.
somewhere. Yeah. So this is my display book. That's why I'm not opening it too much because I don't want to
Yeah,
break
no,
its
that's fine.
back.
You don't want to get your hand
but,
grease
yeah.
all over it.
Exactly. But it's got like all the old school like black and white artwork too, like the line drawing artwork in there, which is just beautiful. So I was like, yeah, I guess I'm just stuck never opening this thing. So yeah.
Not without your Dune reading gloves on.
I was like, you just got to buy 2 of them.
That's
One
right.
for display and one
That's
for
right.
reading.
This was a gift and a very expensive gift. So
Dang.
I imagine that thing is huge.
Yeah.
uh-huh. So this is my for display book. So once this is a bit more cleared, because I'm going to clear out a bunch of my bookshelf, like move some stuff onto the upper shelves, and then this bad boy will eventually live in one of those shelves.
I wish I had room in here for all my books. Because I've got one of those massive IKEA bookshelves, and that thing is full. Like, I got 3 layers going on each
Nice.
shelf. I've got so many
There's a
books.
bunch that are sideways crammed in
Yeah,
there.
I got a couple on top of each other and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I should
Well,
take a
over
picture
on
of that. It
this-
looks like a clusterfuck in there.
On this side, underneath, you can't see him, but behind the Ant-Man helmet is all of the Alien novels that I bought like a stupid idiot.
I mean, I have all the omnibuses, so
There you go.
I have them individually because I have a problem.
no. Yeah.
And this is the Pikachu that fell.
Woo-hoo. Oh, see, I've got a Snorlax that just hangs on my... I wonder if I can get it off. It just hangs on my microphone. Yeah, there we go. Cha-ching.
I have 2. They were a gift from a former colleague's kid, so they stay up here. I have my arthritis gloves for when I'm playing PC games. A bunch of random bullshit all around. And I've slowly started gathering all of the pins that I have not stuck up yet. So I can actually put them on the pin board at some point. Like, because the floor, I cleaned up a little bit. Not enough, but a little bit. You can tell from over there isn't a big pile of bullshit on top of those 2 boxes anymore.
What's the blinking light that's going on in your background?
What blinking light?
Every once in a while, I see like a red flash of light. Maybe it's your camera?
I think it's Moon's camera every once in a while changes the color. So like
okay.
if you
Oh, yeah.
watch his shirt, it'll change from this color to a lighter one.
Because it looks like there's
Yeah.
just a red light that flashes on your back wall for a little bit and then goes away. I thought maybe you had like one of those stoplight things or something in the background.
No, it's probably based on how it's focusing on what the light is on me, because this light is not great, but that light is too blinding when it's all the way up here, so...
Mm.
I know, Pharaoh, I didn't find the book yet, much to my chagrin. let's hope 2024 starts with a bang. But yeah, I got like my Mystic Aquarium pin from Rhode Island.
Nice. Excuse me.
And
Oh, Untitled Goose.
With a knife.
yes.
Yep.
Uh-huh. And there's a bunch more around here. I just need to find them, which I have a bookshelf here too, but that's literally just, that is my, I don't know where to put shit. It goes on the bookshelf shelf.
Right.
So
The sorting shelf.
that's just, yeah, it's got like my vitamins, my tablets, a stack of PlayStation 3 games,
That's what the side of my desk
notepads,
here is.
cat toys, a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Also, my candles and the like sit on top of that one because I don't care if that bookshelf gets damaged.
All right. Are you guys ready to kickstart this thing?
Yep.
Our first episode of the day.
I think I would prefer Fig, if I'm completely honest, but Kickstart is fine.
Fair enough. All right. Me. All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast, aka TVGP. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpier.
Howdy.
And the Nymph.
Hello.
We have definitely not been recording for almost 4 hours straight today, so let's just get into a very short sales pitch for patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers.
Get all the early access, exclusive, uncensored, behind the scenes, all the cool stuff over there. $5 a month is the recommended tier. That gets you everything. Anything above and beyond that is appreciated, of course. Tell your billionaire friends to give us, just add like a 5 and just keep putting zeros after that, and just until
Tell them it's $5 a day. That's fine.
right. That's right. Or tell them
To
it's
start
$5 per episode. Which one would be more? Per day is probably. For $5 a day, you can feed a podcaster, and that is us.
Louise needs food.
That's right. That's right. Get all of that stuff over there at patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers, and I almost said you can teach a podcaster after what you said, Boston. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Just a quick production note here. At the end of December, we're going to be on our usual podcast holiday. So this isn't the last regular episode. That's next week's. After that will be our Game of the Year episode, and then after that will be our predictions episode. So we'll be on a little bit of a break, but of course, just like when you go on a vacation from work, you got to work harder before you leave. So we are just cranking out the episodes here before we go.
And also, when you get back too, so look forward to that first episode that's 6 hours long when we get back.
That's right.
I'm not going to play anything so it can be the shortest episode ever.
Yep. And thank you for reminding me. We do record video for those. Those do go on YouTube. I'm sure there's a way I could schedule them to play on Twitch or whatever. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be busy taking a holiday. So go check the YouTube for all of that. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Oh boy. Well, luckily for you, I've been playing almost nothing.
Okay.
So don't even bother with the video, because I
Okay.
played a little bit of Starfield because I need to talk about that in Game of the Year potentially.
Okay.
Sure, it's Starfield. It's a Bethesda game. I like that kind of game, so of course I'm gonna like this kind of game too. It is what it is at this point, but I haven't played enough of it to really talk about this week.
Mm-hmm.
Pharaoh was correct in chat. I have been playing Forza Horizon 5, which I do want to talk about.
Well, there you go.
Playing that too.
Mostly because I finally got the Min-Meet Max achievement, which is the achievement for doing every single event in every single season of series of seasons, whatever.
Oh, okay.
I
Congratulations.
got that achievement,
Very
which
nice.
thank you, that would have left me with one achievement from the base game that I have not got.
Right. Except...
However, if you follow me on the socials,
Mm-hmm.
you already know that I finally got the achievement for winning the Eliminator.
Yes.
Oh boy! So I had that was my Monday and Tuesday. I spent doing a bunch of work on the computer and then not work, but doing stuff for myself, organizing files, things like that.
Yeah.
And then after that, I would sit down and play Forza. And then just the Eliminator, nothing else, just the Eliminator. I would load up, do a bunch of Eliminator stuff, then do chores, then do Eliminator, then do chores, then do Eliminator. I have got like 15 screenshots of it saying, I came second, I came third,
Oh no.
I came second.
Oh boy.
And I was like, this is just going to be an army of screenshots of me being in second place and third place, and I'm never going to win. And that's really, really, really frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started playing. I kept on playing it, and eventually I got to the point where, like, with 3 circles left, I had a level 10 car, which is the maximum. But specifically, I had the Hoonigan RS 2000, which is one of the fastest cars on road and off road in the game. The only car that was going to beat me on the road was like the McLaren P1, essentially. So there I am, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm just going to park at the edge of the circle, stay still, let myself go invisible because you go into stealth mode if you don't drive around, and nobody's going to bother me, and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then some idiot finds me and starts challenging me to a race. I'm like, cool, I'm going to smoke you. So I took off. Because the key with the Eliminator is when you challenge somebody to a head-to-head, that's how you eliminate people on a one-to-one basis. But it always puts the destination you're going towards the center of the circle. So if you're trying to knock people out, you've got to know where the center of the circle is. So ideally, they're facing the wrong direction. You've got a head start. You beat the horn as you go past them. And then you're going 150 mile an hour in the correct direction, and they're going 2 mile an hour in the wrong direction. So that's how you get a huge head start.
Strategy.
So when you're doing the stealth tactic, you park on the edge of the circle so that you're facing inwards, so that when people come and beep at you, you can go straight towards the middle of the circle. Helpful. It's not much, but it can make a difference.
Yeah.
So I smoked this guy. 100% wreck this fool. Problem is, when you eliminate somebody, you get 2 options: upgrade your car or take their car.
Okay.
This guy had a level 7 car, so I'm not taking his car.
Right.
So instead, I have to upgrade it. And you can't choose neither. You have to choose one or the other. So I upgrade from one of the best or the best all-around vehicle in the game, arguably, to the McLaren P1, which is a fantastic on-the-roads vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
Less great on the off-roads.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, now I've got to find somebody, challenge them to a race, hopefully eliminate them so I can get rid of this crappy car and have a different level 10 car. But cool. So I go around the edge, I'm looking around, I find somebody, I challenge them, I hit a wall on the head-to-head race. And I'm like, oh great, so now this guy's going to eliminate me. Go around the wall, start accelerating again, and of course I'm in the P1, so I'm doing the fish tail slide, tail
slipping
fish
and sliding
thing as I'm trying to go. The guy drives off a cliff and smashes into a wall himself.
Yes.
Seeing this, I go around the cliff, and then it becomes this like 2 different directions heading towards the point, and I think I literally beat him by a nose.
Oh boy.
So I eliminated him, and it was like, cool, do you want his level 9 car, or do you want to upgrade your car? I was like, I'm going to upgrade my car and hope for the best. So I get the F9 Funko something or another, which is, I hate the name because it reminds me of Funko Pops.
Right.
But I get it. And I'm like, cool, this is the best off-road level 10 vehicle you can get. What happens if the Eliminator race is not an off-road race? What happens if it's an on-the-road race? Then I'm in trouble. I don't have the get-go for that race. Get all the way to the final circle. I'm like, cool. Let's hope and pray that because when you get to the final circle, it will disable head-to-head, so there's no more eliminations in the circle.
Oh, okay.
And it'll count down to the final race, which usually it opens the entire map, and it puts the waypoint way away from you. So like,
it's just like whoever's
map,
left, just get over there.
Yeah, so it becomes a point-to-point race with whichever drivers are left going from A to B.
Wow, okay,
It's like,
that's cool.
And it's got a outside of the ring health bar. So if you spend time outside the ring, you do have time to get into the ring.
Mm,
The key to the final race is have that health bar completely full, and then time your acceleration so that you are leaving the ring right as it says like 5 or 4 seconds. That way you're already 5 seconds down the road when the circle switches itself off.
Ah.
And then the destination shows up.
Writing down all these tips.
So I did that. The problem is someone else did it better and was like 2 seconds further down the road than I was.
Oh no.
And I'm like, number one, I'm hoping that the checkpoint is in this direction because it's a circle, so you can go west or north or northwest or whatever, because I was on the far east. I was like, just hopefully be west. Just be west. And then I will try and catch this guy who's in front of me. Circle disappears, checkpoint is in the west. I'm right behind, like, I'm 2 seconds down the road from this guy who is, like, in a car, in a road vehicle. So he's in his place of power because we're in the highway system and he's just gunning it ahead of me. And then I noticed the checkpoint is, like, maybe 11 o'clock on, like, on a compass.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is a straight highway that goes east to west. That means this is at least partially off-road. So I have a chance.
Oh, okay. There's a glimmer of hope.
So way before the turn, I'm just like, screw it. I'm just going to go left and just gun it as quick as I can. Straight beeline it straight to this point. By the time he got to where he was going, turned left and was going straight, I absolutely thrashed him. Like, even nowhere to be seen, like, in my radar. And then it came up and was like, you are the eliminator. I was like, oh no, did I do it? Did I do it? And then it popped the achievement. I did it great. I got the base 1000 in Forza Horizon 5. I haven't installed that thing because it's 131 gigs.
It's so big.
A lot.
Man. And at least your eliminator race was like a bit of a nail biter. It wasn't just, I didn't see anybody else and I won somehow. You know, that would have been okay too.
So
but,
easy days are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the weirdest part about this game for me is, like, I don't know how they took the essential feelings of a battle royale game, because essentially battle royales are about feelings. They're about the build to tension and then the release, the build to tension and the release, the build and the release in the race, in the mode. And I don't know how they logically transform that from a shooter to a racer and still had it make sense.
It's like, pretty incredible.
There is times you can get into a race with somebody and you know you're gonna lose. Like, this dude has a level 5, I have a level 1 car, and the checkpoint is 5 miles away. I'm done. Like, I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
But then suddenly, miraculously, you jump over a mountain, they do a barrel roll, and then they're trapped in a building, and all of a sudden you've won, and now you've gone from a level 1 car to a level 5 car. It's like, that still gets my heart going. It still gets those anxious feelings. It still has all of that same effect that all of the like the battle royale games do. Like, it's insane that they've managed to transition it. Don't put an achievement in for it next time. Pretty please,
or at least have it be like be in the top 50%, be in the top 10, maybe, not just,
or just play an eliminator match.
Yeah, something like that.
But that's the thing, is because, like, quite frequently the play and eliminator match would show up on, like, the weekly challenges, and 90% of the time, if you did it, you'd get a super wheel spin. It's like, cool. I'm just gonna get this so I can get the super wheel spin. I don't know. It's fun. It's stupid. I loved it. The long hunt for the sandstorm, by the way, I didn't have one for like 4 days, and then I got one to take my photo. The next 3 days while I was playing it, I got a sandstorm every hour and a half without fail.
Yep. There you go.
Guys, really? Why? I literally sat here and waited for this, and now you're doing it all the time.
Right.
But whatever. I have finished Forza Horizon 5. It is done.
Right.
I have unleashed. I have loosened the collar on my hard drive a little bit, we'll say. So now it can breathe a little bit.
The pressure valve has let some go.
Yes, I was about to make a Fury Road reference, but then I realized Boston wouldn't get it, so...
That's fair.
Yeah. Anyway,
So now
Payday
they can
3 is
announce
my...
Forza Horizon 6. Now that you're
Yes,
done.
now they can.
Yeah, let's get the next one.
100%. And it'll be before the DLC, so it'll only be like 60 gigs. Because it only gets
True.
up to 120 gigs when they get both
Yeah,
sets
once they
of
start
DLC
putting the
in there.
Lego in there and they've got a new island, that's when it gets crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Payday 3 is my next game. I couldn't sleep one night, and nobody was awake at 3 o'clock in the morning my time, so I played the first level solo and did it completely stealth.
Wow.
Nice.
No alarms, no nothing. I bumped it up to hard difficulty because I wanted to see what the next set of difficulties are like, because you get more money for doing it on high difficulties. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is like I could not sleep. Like, my insomnia has been through the roof because my anxiety is through the roof. That's due to several things. It is work, it is home, it is lots to do for the show. There's a lot going on in my head right now, so therefore anxiety is high. So I just could not fall asleep, so I ended up loading it up, started the first level. No Rest for the Wicked, I think it's called. Which is just a small bank. It's just a small bank level, and we've all played it a couple of times. I think Nimp, you've probably played it at least twice at this point, I would say.
Yep.
Well, I did the whole thing stealth, like without a single alarm going off, which is tense at the best of times, if I'm completely honest. Especially with 3 AI people who won't like help you do stuff. So like when you're trying to carry the bags to the escape vehicle, it better be close, because if it's not close, then you are going to get seen carrying the bags essentially. I did a whole bunch of that stuff. I was like, this is really cool. Now I feel like I know this level now. Now I feel like I'm ready for level 1 to be like, okay, let's do the very hard mode. So basically on normal, it's just whatever. That's the default difficulty. On hard, more damage, people spot you quicker, just the usual stuff. On very hard, it does one of 2 things. It gives Titan cameras, which are cameras that cannot be destroyed.
Oh boy.
Or it gives you a guard, who this specific guard is the head of the guards, and he has infinite radios. So when you're doing stealth, basically, what happens is if you put a guard down, you have to answer their radio, and then you have 3 alarms until the alarms go off. Or 3 radios until the alarms go off, essentially. On very hard, that's 2 radios until the alarm goes off. But you have to answer the radio. If you don't answer the radio, the alarm goes off right then and there, and then chaos ensues. But if you're trying to do stealth, you want to answer the radio so you can delay the alarm as much as possible. Today, I tried doing this because I don't like the car level. I can't remember what the name of the level is, but I don't like it. The second level, Nimp, where you have to escort that car, through. I just don't like that level because there's no stealth choice. You have to go loud. It is loud from the get-go,
and it gets hectic very quickly.
Yes. So I did the 3rd level, and I started looking around, just poking at the edges, kind of thing. Because I'm going in knowing I'm probably going to fail, but I'm going in poking at the edges of the game to see where about the stealth mechanics lie, what I can get away with, what I can't get away with, how much of these people like Metal Gear, and how much of these people like Watch Dogs enemies. You know, which stealth base do I have to operate with here? Turns out it's very like Metal Gear, because one dude turned around on me, and he was looking at me in the face, and I'm crouched on the floor in front of him, and I just scooted in a half circle around him, so I was at his back, and then he was like, okay, I didn't see nothing. It's fine.
Just a box.
But no, it's fun. I played some with, I think, Rob late on Friday as well. I don't think I did a quick scan and nobody was online, so I was just like, dude, let's just play some Payday 3, whatever. I don't really care. So we just messed around for a little bit. Did the first level again. Got all the way to the point where we We got into the vault. We got rid of the die packs. We got all of the stuff. We literally had every single bag in the level, and we were stacking them up beside the back door to the place so we could start taking them out. And then Rob pulls an us and throws a grenade instead of throwing the bag.
Oh,
So
no.
immediately the alarms go off, and then we've got this like last minute dash to try and get all the bags stolen.
It's one of
It's
those
like,
moments
okay.
of like, all right, I'm gonna no. What have I done?
It happens every time we're playing this without fail. It happens every single time.
That's so good.
Someone will do it.
And sometimes you just hold down the button because you're like, how long can I cook this grenade so I have at least a couple of seconds before the alarms go off?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
So I'm playing around right now with level 3. Again, just pushing the edges. That's all I'm interested in.
Learning.
Like, if the level's jello, I just want to poke it from different sides and see which way it wobbles and see which way sticks, kind of thing.
You're casing the joint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny though, because that third level has an achievement called Smash and Grab, which is to finish the level within like I think it's 120 seconds from spawn.
Jeez.
Which is also the only level where as you're walking towards the door of the place, the lead lady's like, yeah, you can, case the joint, or you can just mask up and go. Mask up and go. And it's like, oh, you're saying that because there's an achievement related here.
Right.
Okay, I see what it is.
Yeah.
And because it's a jewelry store, so literally you could run in, mask up, smash everything, take it, and be gone so quick.
That's
So,
interesting.
Probably needs a batch of 4 based on how the bags and everything work, but I think we could do that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Probably can. It's like you're mostly just waiting for the helicopter to show up so you can dump it.
Yep. And on that level, I think if you do it quick enough as well, you can just throw them in a van that's already parked at the back. Like before the assault starts, there's a van at the rear.
Oh, okay.
Or we can use one of the favors that we unlock to have like a dumpster be the drop point, essentially.
You're right.
But no, it's fun. I've figured out so much more about this game. Like, there's a security room in every level with a guard in. If you get rid of that guard, then the cameras no longer see you because there's no longer a guard monitoring the cameras. It's a very nice little touch.
Right.
And it's like, that makes sense. Why didn't I know that beforehand? I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, guards carry key cards, which I'd never realized before, and you can literally just pinch them off the back while they're not looking. That's just...
That's fun.
Very much a Skyrim like hold X to pickpocket kind of thing, and you just do the hand swipe. The card is suddenly yours. Yeah, Payday is fun. I like it a lot. And my final game, because I can't help but finish with it, is Control. Control is really good, like really, really good. And I forget how good, to be completely honest. I love the fact that the powers that you get are based on altered items that you get, and it makes logical sense what power you get based on what item you collected. Like the floppy disk is the first item you collect. That's what gives you the telekinesis ability. The telekinesis ability is called launch. The floppy disk is the floppy disk that held nuclear launch codes.
Oh,
so
sure.
Logically intertwines with what you get from what you're picking up or what you're, I can't even remember what the word is now, bonding with. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it makes sense in the world, in the universe, and I really do like that. I completely forgot about the Threshold kids.
I don't remember those. Oh, the
creepy puppet TV show.
Yeah.
I love it. I forgot about those. I loved that.
And it gets really weird the further you go.
Like,
oh yeah.
The very first one I ran into, I was like, what is this weird noise that I'm listening to? And then it came up with the title screen. I was like, oh no, I forgot about this.
Oh no, these jerks.
And then the creepy Meg puppet does like a fourth wall break staring at the camera thing. Yep. And I was just like, no.
Oh man.
Why are these in here?
That's right. Oh, I love it.
It's really, really good. I cannot believe the evolution of Remedy as a studio. This is one of the great things about having a studio that is privately owned, is because, generally speaking, they have probably kept the same staff. They definitely have kept the same leads, because Sam Lake is in bloody everything, and that's fine. Sam Lake seems like a genuinely nice person.
Yep.
Also, Dr. Darling is Alan Wake at the same time. Like, it's
right.
You know, of course they've kept the same people. They can't. Poets of the Fall is in every game. They can't help themselves. They just do the same things. But you can see the evolution. Like, you could see from Max Payne to Alan Wake to Quantum Break to Control, and now to Alan Wake 2, which I think it was Geeta Jackson said, I find it funny that Alan Wake 2 won Best Art Direction, Best Acting, and like Best Cinematography, but didn't get Game of the Year because of course not. Like, why not?
Right.
Kind of thing. But I saw a great meme, which was Sam Lake in 2003 doing a public apology video that they couldn't make Alan Wake 2 because they were in bad financial straits. And then it was a photo of him at the Game Awards smiling as he gets to perform on stage with
he gets to dance on stage.
The old gods of Asgard.
Right.
The progression they have made is unreal. Like, they're all similar games, but you can see the evolution of their style, their craft, their writing process throughout. And like, Quantum Break is a good in-between, I think, between Alan Wake and Control. I think Quantum Break is good. I genuinely do. I like that game. It was my game of the year that year, I believe. Control is on a different level. Like, the visuals, the storytelling, the leaning into the bizarreness of the whole situation it's really well paced, well put together, well told. You're going from place to place to place. And they're building mysteries and hiding mysteries, and at the same time answering certain questions as you're going. That they do such a good job of like for example, at this point, if it wasn't the second time I had played this, I know what the thing with the swirly screen is in Control.
Oh yeah.
Which you don't learn about until the very end of the game.
Right.
But you know that she's talking to somebody, you just don't know who. And their finesse in dealing with all of these situations, and I think I said it when I was talking about the Alan Wake DLC, like the ability to flip level design on its head a little bit. I mean, we just saw the light switch sequence in the video that Boston's playing on the stream.
Yep.
And that sequence is great, where you hit that light switch 3 times and the level changes 3 times, and then you have the path that you need to go to.
Yep.
Like, that is split screens of darkness and then loading a different level entirely, essentially right in front of you. Like the Alan Wake circular like level design I was talking about, where like you're trying to go further out of the circle by falling through the level.
Oh, right.
Obviously, the ashtray maze is an incredible sequence, and I think rightly so. I know Boston hates the song from it, but that's fine. He's allowed to be
I don't hate
weird.
the song. It's a good song. It's just too on the nose. That's my only criticism.
So here is the fun part. Like, because of the situation I have at work, I have chosen my radio station, which is Power to the Fall radio, which means I get Power to the Fall, I get Offspring, I get all kinds of music based on that. The new song keeps coming on the radio. And I skip it every time because I'm like, no, I have to play Alan Wake 2.
You got to see it in context.
Yep. Which is why I can't watch them perform at the Game Awards, because I'm pretty sure that's probably the Alan Wake 2 song.
Right, probably.
So I can't do that. I can't watch it or enjoy it because that's the situation.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I feel like I'm doing pretty good flying through Control at the moment, but I know I'm not that far because I still have a bunch of people to meet. I still have the Black Quarry to go to. I still have a mold to deal with. Like, there is... The game is longer than I remember it being.
The posters for the mold.
Yep.
When in doubt, don't eat the mold.
Yes. I don't know. Control is fantastic. And
it's really good.
like I got asked this week, like, why are you playing this again? I was like, okay, so I'm playing it for a couple of reasons. I'm playing it because number one, Alan Wake 2 came out,
Mm-hmm.
and number two, I haven't played the DLC, which means I haven't played the Alan Wake connecting links between Control and Alan Wake 2.
Right.
Number three, it's a brand new game with a brand new set of achievements because this is the extra edition. And why not replay a game I love and get every single achievement all over again? Because if I'm going to do it for Batman, I can sure do it for Control.
Yeah, you're getting like 3 or 4 benefits at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm playing a game that feels good to play. Like that.
Yeah.
The whom noise as you pick up a big chunk of rock and then teleportly like smash it in someone's face. It's
So
really good.
Oh man.
Like the sound
little,
design is incredible.
The little whispers of the hiss all over the place in the background, like it's unsettling.
Even just the red
Like,
lights, like you don't even hear them, but you see the red lights in the distance somewhere, and it's like, okay, what's going on?
Oh yeah.
Like the use of color in this game is insane. Like I get it, red is a bad quote unquote bad color.
Mm-hmm.
My team's color, by the way. But the way they use it, like you said, the way they infuse, like you're going down a corridor and there's just a room infused with red, like the corridor that you can't go into that leads to the nostalgia department, like the thing you go into at the end of the game.
Yep.
That is just a red corridor of doom, and it just looks cool as hell.
Yeah.
I don't know. Control is great. If you all haven't played it, maybe go play Control. I'm sure it's on sale right now. Maybe.
Probably.
I don't know.
There's got to be holiday sales coming up, so.
Yeah, exactly.
True. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. Nimp, tell me, what 5 RPGs have you been playing?
All right. Well, I'm going to very briefly touch on Forza Horizon 5 again, because I did a lot of online racing against the advanced Drivatars, and a lot of you people suck, just like Moon said. I cannot tell you how many times I have been pit maneuvered in a race for no reason.
Y'all are jerks.
And Moon, your Drivatar was doing fine. I had to race you like a gentleman because we were neck and neck in a couple of races, and we kept getting sucked together, so we would just like randomly bump into each other just a little bit while we're trying to get past each other.
A little rubbing is racing kind of thing. That's fine.
It was just, we were at that point where the air just kind of smushed us together a little bit, but we didn't freak out and blow each other off the road like some of these other people that I was in.
Your partner and or child, by the way, just as
most
bad as everything else.
I don't ever, but I was in 2 online races where I was in first and then ended up getting in last.
Oh, that's the worst.
And there was another set where I didn't even finish the race because I got bumped off so hard and I got put back so far behind that I just couldn't catch up with anybody.
Right.
So that sucks. However, their winter stuff is up now, so I got to do a lap in the stadium with all the Christmas trees and stuff like that, and got to buy the.
Maybe I should reinstall it.
It looks really cool.
Nope.
Yeah,
not gonna reinstall
get your little elf costume. Yeah. But anyway, so Forza Horizon 5, still a great game. I'm still waiting for my last barn. That's why I'm still playing this. I'm just waiting for the last barn find to get done, so I can just get that achievement. That's all I want. Quantum Break, my next game. I beat that this week. That is a fantastic game. I kind of thought... So, last week I was talking about, and before that I was saying how like everyone seems to just kind of crap on this game. And as I'm playing it, I'm like, I don't understand why everyone dislikes it. And like we keep saying, it's not the bestest game of all time, but it's still a really good game.
Right.
It's like maybe I'm just seeing, after years of it being out, this is just people, just giving it bad reviews and stuff like that. Until I heard Remap Radio randomly talking about Quantum Break because they were talking about Alan Wake 2. And they were crapping on the game.
Yeah, how dare?
Yep.
I was like, I actually said out loud, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I just played this game.
Right.
So, I really, really like this game. I can understand why it doesn't jive with everybody, which is fine. It's video games, whatever. It's not made for everybody, you know?
Are you being super aggressive, Nimp? Like when you're in combat, are you going straight super aggressive?
Super aggressive as you can be with a pistol, yes.
Okay, because that's where a lot of people I think missed with Quantum Break is like the power set and the move set and everything else. It's designed to be the Sentinel from Mass Effect. It's you get right up close to people, you do a bunch of attacks, you move to the next group of people, you do a bunch of attacks. Like it is a very aggressively playing game.
You eventually get enemies that if you shoot them from the front, you can't do anything to them at all. You have to go behind them. And in the last level, they grouped me up with 2 of those. And yeah, I was freezing them. You eventually unlock a power where you can run. Basically, you do the Flash thing of you just run super fast and everything stops moving.
Oh, that was cool.
It is. And so I would have like the automatic shotgun and I would just pump rounds into the systems that they had tied to their backs. So those were gone. But yeah, like I mostly just ran around with the pistol, honestly. Like just playing with the pistol was good enough for me.
Yeah.
I did play with the heavy pistol a little bit more just because it is only 4 shots. And besides having to constantly reload, like it was fine. The burst one kind of is a pain for range, but those were the only things I stuck with. But playing around with the powers was like the best part. Like I think I had all but 3 of them maxed out. So like I'm constantly dropping like, slowing down little time spheres here and there and boosting around the map. And that boost that I was just talking about where it slows down time, the final thing that you unlock for it is while you're doing that, if you run close to an enemy, you could hit B and you do like a finisher on that thing.
Oh, right.
Whatever. Yeah. So then your character all of a sudden gets super strong and just like wails on them, until they get knocked out. And the cool part is a lot of the things that can move when time is stopped or when it's skipping, when you take them out, instead of them falling to the ground, they just go back into the time flow. And since it's not flowing, they just freeze. So, I mean, there's like a lot of cool game mechanics going on here that I just don't understand why everyone craps on this game. It is a fun game. It's also super short. I think it was like 10, 11 hours altogether.
It was pretty short.
Yep. Not including the videos, or the TV shows. Those were fun to watch too. It was really funny that you can find stuff in the game and it can change what shows up in the TV show. Like
that's right. Yeah.
So there's one and it has like the little icon that pops up in the top right corner to show you, hey, something cool's about to happen.
Yep.
And
my one-time cool.
Yeah, my one-time cool thing was I found a billboard with a T-Rex wearing a football helmet.
I forgot about that. Yep.
I don't know what that's for or anything. And then, like, a TV show later, these people are walking through the woods, and someone's like, the heck is that?
Yeah,
and there it is, the billboard
why
in
is
the
this
middle
thing
of the
here?
woods. Yeah.
That's so good.
It's just so stupid. All of my choices, I was always on the least popular choice, and that wasn't by choice. I wasn't trying to be the degenerate, but I was trying to pick like interesting choices where you can choose. I'm not going to ruin this, but you can choose who to trust at a certain point. And
screw CM. Nimp is the spirit of punk.
I chose the one that seemed like it would bite me in the back as opposed to biting the villain that you're playing as who's making the choice. But it wrapped around and managed to turn so that way it completely played in my favor.
Oh, interesting.
And now I'm kind of curious on how the other way would have gone.
Right.
But I don't know, it's a lot of fun. And the story is just really well written. Like I said, it may not be the best gameplay because the shooting's just... it's one of those things where Remedy seems to do the shooting kind of weird.
Right. Like, it's fine.
They have a distinct feel.
Yes. Yeah. It's not anything that I'm like, oh, this is terrible, I can't play this. It's just, it takes you a moment to get used to it kind of thing.
Right.
It also doesn't help that everything in this game is white and your crosshairs are white, so that
Right.
takes a moment.
Yep.
Yeah, I honestly, if you've played Control, if you're playing Alan Wake, check out Quantum Break, because I really want to see them either make a sequel to this or wrap it around into like something else, you know, with one of the other games. I did see there was a Night Springs episode that I found.
Oh, right.
Which was really cool because they don't make a noise, but there was a TV sitting there, and I saw lights pop up. I'm like, man, that looks familiar. And then Night Springs pops up. I'm like, oh yes, we're gonna sit here for 5 minutes.
That's right. Here we go.
Yeah, it's just that's it. It's just a good game.
Yeah.
Probably, if I had to rate it, I would probably say like a 7.
Yeah,
8.
it's a solid.
You know.
Yeah,
it's a solid game.
Yeah.
My next game that I played that is also a very solid game is Remnant from the Ashes. Playing this with Ferror. I have told Ferror that I will guide you, but I will also let you die.
Right.
And true to my word, they have died several times. There are things that I help them with. Like when we first started, there's like, hey, you know, I'm walking them through. You can break tables, you can break chairs, you can break pallets, you know,
roll
stuff like
into
anything that
everything.
looks wooden. Yeah, do that, you get the scrap. But let me direct your attention to this specific bookcase right here as I break it, and you will notice there's a hole in the wall, and there's a good piece of starting armor back here that a lot of people run by because they don't realize it's there.
Oh, okay.
And they grabbed that, and it happened to work out for them. I was like, cool. And they're like, where to now? I was like, I don't know. You tell me. Where are we going?
Yep. Randomly generated. Let's go.
Yeah. I just play support. You lead the way. I'll help you out as best as I feel like it. So we work our way through the level. We get down into the sewer, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop you right here because this part annoys me, and I need to tell you so that you're kind of prepared for it.
Right.
In this area, I call it a rabbit because of the way it holds the swords. It looks like a rabbit. However, you will never see this thing come at you. It always spawns behind us. And it spawns a couple of times. And we cannot shoot it from the front. One of us has to get behind it to be able to shoot it, or else it just sits there and deflects your bullets. And I'm like, you keep going ahead. Don't pay attention to me constantly looking behind us because it always catches up on me and it scares the hell out of me. So yeah, we pushed forward a little bit, and then eventually, I heard a chime. I'm like, that's it. It's got to be here somewhere. And sure enough, we turned around. And it's right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, dodge.
Swinging a sword already.
Yep. So we take that thing out, get a little further along. Another one pops up at the absolute wrong moment, as they do.
Of course.
We managed to take that out and the other thing that we're doing, and then we get to the boss. I'm like, all right, here's the fog door. You go on ahead, and, you know, I'll come up behind you.
Yeah.
And I let Ferror go through the door, and I wasn't very quick about going through the door, kind of dragging my feet a little bit so they could, you know, see how a boss fight actually works in this game. And then I went in there, and I think it took us like 3 or 4 tries, just the two of us trying to get through it. And I'd let them know too. It's like, this isn't a Souls game that we just keep beating our heads against the boss. We can go back, we can get scrap, we can improve our equipment and stuff like that. So, which is pretty much what I said. It's like, we probably should do that because I feel that our weapons and our armor are definitely a little too low for this fight right now. So we went back through, re-cleared out the areas, did a little bit more exploring, came back, and then we did eventually beat that boss. But there was a lot of screaming between the two of us at the end, where it's
a
like
good Remnant boss.
Yeah, we had it down to like low health, and I am bleeding. I got like bleed ×2, so my health bar is just running to 0. And I'm sitting there trying to proc a cure. I've got 3 things chasing after me that are trying to blow me up, and the boss is following me, and I'm just yelling, just shoot it! Just shoot it!
Just take it down, please.
It's like I get healed, and I'm like pumping shotgun shells into it, and that thing's charging me. I'm like, this is it. This is the last stand. Like, either I'm going down or it's going down, and we took it out.
Nice.
So, but man, it was real tense, because even after I got done healing, Ferror had to proc their healing to keep me alive long enough for the bleed to go away.
Right.
We were down to the wire on this fight. So. But now we have made it all the way to the subway. I also, when we get to a shortcut, there's a tree that was sitting there, and I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, there's a couple of, I think there's like 2 or 3 different scenarios with this specific area, and they all look exactly the same, but depending on what version you get, depends on what you can do. So I open up the shortcut, Pharaoh runs off, and I'm like, hang on, come back here, talk to this tree for me.
just chat
like,
to the tree.
Yeah, and they're like, what? I'm like, just come here and talk to the tree.
Right.
And they come over, they talk to the tree, and then the tree picks them up, puts them skyward, and I'm just sitting there laughing. I'm like, okay, I know what's happening now.
Okay.
And then Auror gets a trait, puts their character back down on the ground, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, yep, okay, cool. They're freaking out a little bit. They're thinking I set them up. And I was like, I kind of was, but I knew nothing bad was going to happen.
Right.
But just remember this, that I could have taken that trait, but I gave it to you instead.
That's right.
So yeah, I love playing this game.
Yeah.
It is.
Remnant's really good.
Remnant is really great. I'm looking forward to playing the second one eventually once we get to that point. But there's so much crap that we have to look forward to in this game. And some of it I'm really looking forward to. And then there's the other smaller parts. So I'm like, man, this is going to suck.
Mm-hmm.
Swear to God, if we get that ferry bridge fight, that's going to take forever.
Yeah.
It's just... but Remnant, yes. Play it if you've never played it before.
It's very good. Try to play a co-op, though, because I think it's a better experience.
It is, and single player, especially with the bosses, because I beat this playing single player, and all the bosses are really meant for at least one other player.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to go in by yourself, at least open up your world so that other randos can publicly come into your game.
Oh, right.
They can't do anything to prevent you from progressing, or anything. Like, they can't mess with your world or anything, and they can't attack you. Actually, I take that back. There is friendly damage in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But most people, at least on the PC when I was doing it, they were fine. Like, they were there to help each other, so you didn't have to worry about getting backstabbed or anything like that. So yeah. But my last game that I played this week is Lies of P. I've beaten my second boss now.
Okay.
And I am in a manufacturing place. I have found Geppetto.
Okay.
There's a whole lot going on. So you find Geppetto. He's like, okay, I will go back to the hotel with you, but first, you should continue seeing what's happening. I'm like, all right, cool. So I continue on into City Hall. And then I find something that is very obviously a boss door. I'm like, cool, let me go back and spend my ergo. That way I don't lose all my progress to this point. I go through and level up some stuff, go back in, and it is a giant officer robot that loves electricity and is climbing on this building, and you get this nice looking cutscene, and it jumps down at you. Now, luckily, just before that, there's like a bird bath kind of thing that you can drop a Stardust in, and that will summon... It basically summons like a fake puppet. I didn't catch what they actually call it, but just like with any of the other Souls games, if you meet certain criteria, you can summon a NPC player or type player to come in and help you with a boss fight.
Oh,
so
right.
That's what I did here. They didn't do a whole lot, which I wasn't really expecting a whole lot, but I just needed someone to grab their attention every once in a while if I needed to heal, which needed to heal a lot, because once you get to a certain point, the boss starts throwing out like AoE lightning everywhere. And I'm trying to still figure out if this game is pushing me to be more and more aggressive, or if it's wanting me to be aggressive and then back off, kind of ebb and flow with being aggressive and then going defensive. It's weird with some of these boss fights. But anyway, so I did manage to beat that on my first try, and it was a real close call, and I was kind of shaking at the end because it was, again, I'm down to like my last healing thing, and this is going one way or another real quick. So take them out. Now I'm in this manufacturing area, and I haven't done a whole lot of exploring. I did find there's a puppet in like this giant looking wired frame mech suit
Oh.
that actually in the video on the stream, it's in this area.
Hmm.
It kind of looks like it's from Nier, like
Okay.
that style of giant, like one of those big ones
Hmm.
that you would find. It kind of reminds me of that. I have not fought it yet because it is in the middle of all this corrosive liquid.
Hmm.
So it's basically the poison for this. So I'm trying to figure out, all right, what do I need to do to fight this? There's a bunch of items and stuff around it. So I'm gonna try to figure that out. But right now I'm actually having a lot of fun playing this game, which
Yeah.
is not something that I say about a lot of Souls games.
Right.
I think bashing my head into Sekiro for as long as I have been has made me really good at the parrying system in this game.
Hmm.
I'm still not 1-to-1. I still blunder a lot, but I don't. I think I've only died like a handful of times in this game,
Well, that's not bad.
and it's not from the game's lack of trying to kill me. So,
Right.
um, but now that I've beaten that boss, and now that I have Geppetto, I've opened up this new system for the P organ, which is basically your heart.
Hmm.
And with that, you get certain little I forget what they're called, but they're like little fragments that you can put into that system, and it's kind of like a tiny little sphere grid
Oh.
where there's phase 1 all the way to phase 5. Within phase 1, there are 4 traits that you can select. One of them happened to be, hey, add an extra vial of your healing stuff.
Hmm.
To do this, you click on that, and then it has 2 bars that you need to fill. You click on the bar, and it tells you, or this is what you use the P organ fragment thing for. So you have to have 2 of them to unlock that skill for having the extra healing item on you.
Hmm.
So you select the first one. It's like, hey, from these 4 categories, one's like attack, defense. I don't know what the other 2 would call, but from these 4 categories, pick something within here that you want. It's like, okay. So I'm looking at them, like the attack one does it where it's like, okay, you earn extra, or no, you don't. What was it? You get like an extra attack or, something like that. It can increase your dodge. One that I selected was I can earn extra ergo, which is your souls in this one. And then the next one that I could pick increased like their stagger length for the enemy whenever I stagger them.
Oh,
So I
okay.
get those 2 upgrades, and because I picked those 2 things for the extra healing item, I now have 5 of the healing items and these 2 passive abilities.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So now the other ones I have, the other ability that I can choose is like an extra dodge or something like that. So there's 4 of them in here that you can do, that you can unlock these, that you can add these passive abilities to, but you can't stack the same passive abilities that you've used in this phase. So the ones that
Okay.
I've already used, I can't just keep doing like the same ones over and over again.
Interesting.
Um, my understanding from what the tutorial had said was if you unlock every ability, all 4 abilities within a phase, you unlock like a greater ability of some sort.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that is yet. But
That sounds like a cool system, though.
it is, and it was kind of cool seeing it open up like that. Where it's like, oh, now I have this on top of upgrading my stats, and on top of upgrading my weapons, I can now have this extra thing that I'm messing with, which can give me extra passives, which can help make my character survivability go way up.
Yeah.
So it's just been a lot of fun, and I haven't even gotten into like the weapon stuff yet. Like I'm still running around. I got my greatsword that I started the game with up to level 3 now. I'm at the
Hmm.
point where the common weapon upgrade material no longer works for this. I have to go on to the next upgrade material now to get it to go
Okay.
up in higher percentage. Or
From
I'm
like
sorry,
common to rare.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't even played with. Oh, I can take this blade and this handle and connect them together. That way, they do something completely different.
Oh.
So that can change. Like I have an officer nightstick that I can use. If I take my blade, which has that Y ability where he does like a spin attack, and add the nightstick as the hilt, not only does that change how they use the weapon because it pretty much turns it into a glaive, it also changes what skills I have available to use for that Y attack.
Oh, wow.
So you can mix and match like all these different weapons and handles together to get different effects. So that way, if you find something, like I have a weapon a dagger, a salamander's dagger, which can light enemies on fire. If I put that longer hilt on it, it kind of turns that into a spear instead of a dagger, and then I can just kind of poke things further away and then catch them on fire.
That's interesting.
So there's a whole lot of different things that I have not seen in any other kind of Souls game in here.
Right.
And it's kind of been really fun just screwing around and seeing, what I can do with this.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to see I'm looking to get more weapons to see, so I can try to start mixing and matching. But right now I'm just going to keep using my greatsword until it feels like I should be doing better. And then I'll start playing with the system at that point. But yeah, right now it's great. I've got a new Legion arm that I can charge up and it shoots off like an electric pulse that does a bunch of damage. So that's been pretty sweet. And I've been able to integrate that into my combo so I can do like a sword attack and then I can do like a quick pulse. And depending on what the enemy's resistance is, that quick pulse is done up to like 400 points of damage just by itself.
Jeez.
So there's a lot of things that you can mess around with in this game, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm thinking I might actually buy this game on top of playing it on Game Pass. So. Yeah.
Go for it.
Lies of P is really sweet, and that is my last game for this week.
The only thing I'm sad about with Lies of P is if you look at the original trailers, it had APAB written on the walls, and they cut that out of the final game.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I do have one more weird thing. When I was playing yesterday, I had a weird thing with the sound again, where it just completely cut off all sound.
Oh, right.
I wasn't getting anything in the game. Xbox sounds, like the dashboard sounds were still working fine for the Xbox, but like in game, it started off where it was just kind of off by a second again, and then all of a sudden I just had no sound whatsoever.
That is weird.
I'm the only one apparently noticing this, so I don't know what is going on, because every time I look online, no one says anything about it.
It's a bug just for you.
I guess. So be aware of that. But other than that, it is a great game.
All right, I'm going to blow through some of these games here because I haven't played a ton of them, but Remnant 2. We started started playing this week. The Destiny crew. We finally were able to get together and play this. This actually has an intro to it, which is interesting. Where your character kind of gets a little bit of backstory, but the intro is like maybe 15 minutes, which is nice. So like you get a little bit, but not too much to be annoying. And then once you're done with that, it just throws you into Remnant. And hey, man, it's Remnant again, and you're in some generated dungeons, and you're doing some stuff. Like it's kind of the thing.
Blizzard Angel stuff right there.
Yeah, I don't know what zone this is. I have not seen this in my game. But these look interesting. I'm in like a sci-fi. Sorry, we are in like a sci-fi spaceship thing. So who knows?
Nice.
I don't know. A lot of interesting quality of life changes right off the bat. You can, number one, more than one person can use a vendor at a time. 2 thumbs up. Thank you for changing that. Good boy, that was annoying. Like waiting in line at Ward 13 in the first game of just like, no, I gotta go back to use that one.
You go talk to the armor, I'll talk to the catalyst, and then we'll swap.
Yep. You can actually run 2 classes at once now. You pick your class to begin with. There's 4 classes. I picked the medic because it's the one with the on the ground healing spell. I call it Baja Blast because it's like the exact same color. So I picked that, but once you save up 1,500 scrap, you can just go buy another class and just run 2 of them at the same time. So once I get that money, I'm going to go buy the one with the dog, because I always like classes that have a little pet with you. So I can be like a support and a pet class at the same time. So that's...
How do they differentiate class? Because in the first one, it was basically what skills and what mods for your weapons and what traits you started with. Is that still the same with this one? Or
it seems like it so far, and so far it seems like here are the spells that you start with, and the kind of the default traits you start with.
Okay.
As far as I can tell, we didn't have a lot of time to play this because, as it goes with some of these games, we spent an incredible amount of time trying to get all three of us to have the game open at the same time and in the same lobby at the same time. Once we did, it worked great. But it was one of those things where, like, all right, three of us are in the game. That's great. Let's go touch the crystal. We call it touching the butt. Let's go touch the butt. We'll go teleport to someone else. Two of us made it. Okay, what happened? Oh, the game crashed for the third person. All right, now let's all try and get back to, like, nobody move. Everybody try and get back into the game. Like, all that kind of stuff. Thankfully, the trait that you get for resurrecting your teammates, in the first game, it felt like it took a while to get it, where when you invest points into it, you resurrect them faster. It is an incredibly important trait. In this game, you get it the first time you resurrect one of your teammates. So in our first boss fight, it was a lot of like, wait, I need to go get the skill. I'll run over there. Oh, okay, now you res this. So it was a lot of fun. But maxing that out resurrects people 50% faster in this game, which is really good. And it's very funny to hear your experience, your inferior experience with your first boss. We had literally the same experience with the first boss of just like, I just don't res me. Like, I'm in a poison cloud. Just go shoot the boss 5 more times. It's like, well, I'm shooting the boss. It's not doing any damage. It's like, hit the squishy bits. They're all squishy bits. You know, it's like this standard, Remnant boss stuff. So
Everyone's
far it's
cool and composed until we're not anymore.
yeah, until the first person goes down, and it's like, oh no, oh wait, I'm down too. Oh no. So far it's really great. I think it looks better than the first one, and I think the environments are more varied, which I think is a big improvement, because the first one kind of was like, oh, I'm in a sewer. Oh, I'm in a red swamp. Oh, I'm in a dilapidated town. It's also brown. You know, it was all kind of a little too samey. But so far in this one, it's really very good.
This level you have in the video looks like a Diablo video more than anything else.
Yeah, like nothing you would have seen in the first game. So, and like I'm in a purple spaceship now. Like nothing we would have ever run into in the first one. So, I'm really looking forward to spending more time with it. I'm really glad it was on Game Pass, because so far it seems really cool, and I'm really looking forward to diving into the systems more and kind of continuing to explore the game. I think Bill Sifford has been playing it a little bit when we're not playing it together, but my intention so far is to just play it, you know, as we go with the three of us. So so far so good. I like it. Running two thumbs up. Next game here, Yakuza Kiwami 2. I spent there's a reason, but I spent the entire week in chapter 4 because the Hostess Club minigame opened, which of course I had to go do. The reason for it was I spent the entirety of this week doing that. Number one, it's really good. It's exactly like the one in Yakuza 0, I think it was. I don't remember. One of Kiryu or Majima ran the host or hostess club in
Majima did in
Yakuza
0.
Okay, so it's exactly like that. Like even when a lady calls you over and she does like the little symbol, you're like, okay, refill ice, got it. Or she does this, and it's like, oh, yep, menu. That's right. That you got it. So all of that stuff is good. But the reason why I've been sticking with it is because you make so much money immediately. I've spent not that much time playing it. I have 20 million yen, which is probably enough money to finish the rest of this game. So, the first time
it's almost like sex sells.
That's right.
Almost.
But like, you could kind of game the system of this game where, because I have so much money now, I'm not really going to do this because I want to keep the story moving and I'm playing on easy. But you can very easily find because this is the old system of game. You can go into any restaurant, fill your belly all the way full, and get all the experience for eating all those dishes. Drink a bunch of drinks that get rid of your digestion and like empty your belly out, and rinse and repeat that forever, and just juice all of your stats immediately. So I don't really need to, because I fought a boss recently and just wiped the floor with him. So like easy is really very easy, and you don't have to do a lot of strategy. You just do a lot of button mashing, which is great. So that's why I spent this week doing that, and because I did all of that, I completed a bunch of stuff in the completion list, and all of those things get you stats. So like between fighting and stats and doing the completion list stuff, I've upgraded my stats and my moves and all that stuff quite a bit. So I think by the time I'm ready to hop into this game again this week, then I can just kind of keep motoring on quite a bit. All right, let's get to the thing that I unexpectedly spent time with this week in a way that, surprising me, Fortnite put 3 new modes in this week. Let's start out in order of the things I've spent least amount of time with to most time. So least time I've spent with is Fortnite Racing, which is the developers of Rocket League have put in a racing game that is a lot like Roll Cage, where you're kind of like jumping and flipping the car upside down on the walls and the ceiling and stuff. It's solid. I haven't spent as much time with it because of the other 2 ones, but it's kind of a wild thing. It controls really well, like way, way, way better than I was really expecting, especially because the driving in the Battle Royale stuff is fine. Like, it kind of gets you from point A to point B, but that's about it. But this turned out to be a lot more fun than I was expecting. And also, the wild thing is, in all 3 of these modes, there's some stuff that carries over between mode, but in this one, they like finally did the metaverse thing that all of these like pretend companies that just were selling NFTs were trying to do, and a lot of your purchases from Rocket League and this game cross-pollinate. So if you're purchasing cars and decals and wraps and wheels and stuff in Fortnite, the racing mode, that stuff shows up in Rocket League, and a lot of your Rocket League content is available for this mode in Fortnite. So
that a while ago, it was announced on TA that they were going to be discontinuing a couple of achievements in Rocket League. Specifically, it's the ability to trade items between players has been disallowed from Rocket League.
All right.
Now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense.
Now I know why.
All right. There's some choices that have been happening in Epic-owned things lately that are now making a lot of sense. So this seems pretty good. I don't have enough content. I downloaded Rocket League like against my will because I don't like Rocket League at all. But I downloaded it because I wanted to see if hooking these 2 accounts made anything show up in each of the other games, but I don't have enough content in either one of them for it to really show up. So someone who's played a lot of Rocket League can probably tell you better than I can. So that's pretty good. Oh, God. Okay, next one. Fortnite Festival. Hey, Harmonix put Rock Band in Fortnite.
No.
It is 4 instruments. It is the 5-note highway. It's just the festival in Rock Band, and there's a bunch of licensed tracks just right in Rock Band, and you can match up with a bunch of people and play that.
So does it work as it should?
Yeah. Just really wild.
I don't want to download Fortnite, Boston.
Every game is Fortnite now. Get in Fortnite.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
All games are available. Also, all of these 3 things are free, which is wild. Still, you don't have to pay for any of these.
it sounds like they did a good job so far with integrating them.
I think so
good
far,
on them.
My complaint about the racing mode is that the cars cost way too much money. So, like, the one car they're selling is 4,000 V-Bucks. That's $40. It's $40 for a digital vehicle.
There it is. Yeah.
I'm sure it shows up in Rocket League, so like maybe that's a silver lining for somebody. Thankfully, it doesn't appear that any of the cars go like faster than the other ones, so ranked races aren't going to be. You bought the $40 one, so here you go. But $40, that's too much. That's too much for a thing. $20 is too much for a thing. The weird thing about so Feyrer in chat says bring back the USB guitar and drums. They say they're working on it, and that's going to show up sometime in 2024. It sounds like they are close to being done with it, so I don't have a PS5 guitar for Rock Band, so I guess I will have to download this on my Xbox. The only thing about the Fortnite festival that is odd is that there's a ton of tracks. There's like Nine Inch Nails and Queens of Stone Age and like a Lady Gaga and The Weeknd, and there's actual big musicians are in here. It's not just like here's the Fortnite music. There are only certain tracks that are available. Essentially, there's a rotating set of free tracks that are available every day. And it's like 5 or 6 of them, I think. And it just kind of rotates between a bunch of stuff. Those are the free tracks. You can go into the store and you can buy, I think they call them jam packs or jam tracks or something like that. You're essentially, like in Rock Band, you're buying the track to play whenever you want to play. Which is fine.
$40 a piece is fine.
They're about $5 a pop, which is fine. It would be cooler if that pollinated over to Rock Band. That would make a lot more. That $5 would be a lot easier to swallow. But it's okay. I don't really see myself buying any tracks at all because I'm not going to spend $5 for a piece of Fortnite music. But it works.
How you have changed from the starting days of this show.
I know. I will probably play this more once they have keyboard support because the controls are left and right on the D-pad and then square, triangle, and circle for the tracks. That hurts my brain a lot. That's hard to play. So I'm probably not going to be spending much time in that, but it works. It's cool. It has the harmonics, like the calibration thing where the lines are going across the screen and beep, 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 and you press X as the lines go across. It's got the whole thing, which is pretty impressive. So that's great. The thing I spent way too much time playing this week, because it's actually really good, is Lego Fortnite. Yeah,
so is this just Fortnite with Lego characters, or is this like Lego Universe?
It's Valheim with Lego characters in Fortnite for free.
I was wondering why there was a bunch of articles about this is where you can find bananas in Lego Fortnite or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
It's really good. Not only so, first off, if you haven't seen Fortnite in a while, Fortnite is incredibly pretty because it was the first Unreal Engine 5.1 game.
UE5.
Well, it's 5.1, so it has like all the new fresh lighting, and it's kind of like it's always the lead tech thing of we make Unreal Engine, but we're also shipping one of the largest games on the planet using our technology. So like your project is probably going to be okay. But it looks really, really, really good. And it turns out to be kind of one of the friendliest crafting survival things that I have played. Because I typically don't like like crafting, survival, building, sort of exploration thing, but I'm susceptible to it if you explain your systems. Like if you
put it in a nice wrapper.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like, half of the time it's like, oh, to make this potion you need a bunch of, snake gizzards. And it's like, yeah, cool, where do I get those? And the game just gives you a middle finger. It's like, why don't you know that already? It's like, I've been playing for 10 minutes. Like, how am I supposed to know? And thankfully in this game, it's like, all right, I need this type of wood. And it's like, great, those are found in caves in the grasslands. It's like, perfect. Now I know exactly where to look. And it's like, oh, these items come from rollers in the grasslands. I was like, okay, I don't know what those enemies are yet, but oh, here's an enemy that turns into a ball and rolls. I'm gonna guess those are rollers. So it does that way, way better, and the progression systems so far have been really great too. Like, now I'm moving out of the grasslands. I've built up my base pretty well. I have a bunch of different Fortnite characters that are Lego minified, like, which we'll get to in a minute. But like, now I need a bunch of items that only come from the desert area. So I'm going over there, but it's too hot, so I lose health as I'm in there. But the enemies are dropping items.
Specific gear.
That gives me an amulet that cools me down, and you can kind of see how that goes on from now. So I popped in there to just be like, oh, okay, yeah, let me go see what Lego Fortnite is. And then like 4 hours later, I'm like, oh no, I'm still playing Lego Fortnite.
I was gonna say, you still sitting there trying to tough talk it? It's like, oh, this is all you got, huh?
That's right. Oh yeah. Just give me a cool game. Sure. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I guess I'll just collect more rocks and build. Sure. Yeah. You jerk.
Stop me.
That's
I
right.
dare you.
Yeah.
You should really play Grounded, Boston. I'm just saying.
La 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 la. That's why I don't play these games. This one suckered me in. It's like, it's free. It's brand new. It's
Welcome to my life, dude.
You love Legos, don't you? And it's like, I do love Lego. Why? Yeah. Why don't I check this out? You fool. But the other thing, so you were mentioning, this is funny because you were mentioning the Rocket League stuff of like, this seems weird that they're kind of removing this system. I don't know why they would do this. A couple weeks ago, in the middle of the last season was Fortnite OG, which I really didn't like. I didn't play that much because it was just, here is Fortnite's original map back in this game. It's like, this is a barren mess of a map. Great, not gonna play this season. I'm gonna wait for the season that has Solid Snake and Peter Griffin in it, also known as the current season. Thanks, Fortnite. But they unveiled this huge sweeping change to every skin in the game that was essentially saying this skin is only appropriate for X, Y, or Z activities. Like, this skin can be used in Battle Royale, but if it has like a gun or a bomb or like a bandolier like covered in bullets or something, you can't use it in creative. Basically. You can't use it in maps that are rated E10 or lower or stuff. And everyone, myself included, is like, what are you what are you talking about? Why is any? And all of us were like, well, they're leaning into creative so much. I guess that makes sense. They want to keep it a little bit more kid friendly. And then Lego Fortnite comes out, and I'm like, oh, right, because there are all of these skins that I can't use the Lego versions of because they have like a gun, they're Batman, they're the Xenomorph, they're like all of these things where it's like, yeah, right, now I get it. Okay.
That's why Halo has a deal with blocks or whatever it is instead of Lego blocks, is because Lego refused to do it because it was above a T for teen, I think it was.
Exactly. So like all of that stuff makes a whole lot more sense now. I was like, okay, cool, yep, now I get it. But the thing is, I think I already have like 50 Lego skins, and it's not just like, here are the regular people that everybody gets. It's like, no, here's a bunch of things I've purchased or I've unlocked through season passes or stuff. There are a couple that have a weird icon on them, And a couple of them are like, hey, this skin's going to look better in a future update. It's like, okay, fair enough, because it just looks like a person with blue clothes on. It does not look like a giant fuzzy chicken, but okay, I understand. And looking at the store, when you go, there's now like two versions of the store. There's actually like two versions of the game, because when you switch between Battle Royale and Lego, in Lego, you get the little minifig version. I'm like playing a tiger dude right now. You have the little tiger dude, and you switch over to Battle Royale, and it's the fully rendered skin. And you just switch between the two. But anytime you buy seemingly all of the skins that are available in the store now, except for like some of the superhero ones, it comes with the skin for Battle Royale and Creative, the Lego skin, and then like a bunch of other stuff along with it. So...
Dude, tell me you were crazy and tell me you got Goku or Vegeta and you have Lego Goku or Vegeta.
I don't have Goku or Vegeta. I don't think I have. I don't think I bought them. I don't remember doing it. I don't even think I bought Piccolo, because I like wasn't playing that much at the moment, and I really wish I had, because I really want to see Lego Goku, and especially Lego Vegeta, because I want to see that like Widow's Peak.
You would think at this point they would re-release that stuff, because everyone's probably thinking the same thing you are. It's like, oh man, I wish I had this skin for this Lego thing.
Yeah, that stuff comes up pretty frequently, so at the very least I can look in the store when it comes back and be like, yeah, look at Lego Vegeta. He's so cute.
I need screenshots.
He's so grumpy. Yeah. So, man, I've been playing a lot of Lego Fortnite. And I want to go play more of it right now, because I'm
just saying, you have myself and a fellow community member. Like, Nim might be the Souls-like of the group,
right?
I am the survivalist of this.
You're the
group.
crafting like.
Like you give me survival, and it's in my blood. I can't help but play that game for hours.
You gotta craft. Yeah,
I'm saying, like, Grounded is right there, and it's on Game Pass, so you don't even have to really pay anything for it.
And what's really interesting about this is they adopt the kind of shared world system that Grounded has, where they call it giving somebody the keys in this game. Essentially, if you just invite someone to your game and you guys are playing and you don't hand a set of keys to them, as soon as you leave, they get kicked out too. But if you give them the keys, they can get into that world, and it turns into a shared world at any time, and you guys can progress. Yeah, you guys can progress while one or the other, or however many people are offline. So there's a lot of weird issues here, like merging stuff into like treasure chests is pretty annoying. The item limits are super low; they're just 30 items. That feels way lower than it needs to be. But like for a first release thing, it's way more impressive than I was really expecting it to be, and being free at the same time. And getting released alongside two other totally different, also free other video games inside of this video game that's also a video game that has other, like, Save the World is still in there, and like all this bonkers creative stuff. So the Uber video game continues to get larger and more metaversy. So
it's just a tiny piece of your soul at a time.
Yeah, no big deal. And like $20 a pop.
Yeah. Fortnite is all things to all men.
That's right. That's right. So,
am I about to get killed for blasphemy? Maybe, but we'll see.
I don't know. Anyways, those are all the games I've been playing. Let's take a break. Yeah. Good times. What time is it? 6:45. Jesus Christ.
I think you mean 9:45, Boston?
Yeah.
Certainly couldn't be that late. I don't know what you're talking about. Vote, no vote on our news story here.
The entire video game awards?
Nope, we are not talking about video game awards. We could talk about Day of the Devs highlights. but
can't
it's
see the news story. So
gonna be
Yeah, that's
pretty long. So if you guys want to cut it, I'm okay with that because Moon and I still have to record 2 more things.
I say it's up to you
I'm
too.
honestly, I'm fine. Like we can, I would say mention Game Awards, mention Day of the Devs, but I'm fine not going over them to be completely honest.
Okay.
But I mean,
Because also I haven't watched Day of the Devs because I forgot that happens after the Game
Yeah,
Awards.
only thing
so.
you need to be concerned about is that there's a new Vampire Survivors update.
We can mention that. We'll do that.
Yeah. The only
I don't
important
know.
piece of news.
Yeah.
I don't know if it wasn't for fucking PvE shit like the Jurassic Park survival game. I believe that got
Yep.
teased. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, no,
Yeah.
I have too much of this stuff in my life as it is right now.
Yeah. All right, let me open up trailers here real quick.
Oh, Yakuza Like a Dragon is on sale for like $17 on the Xbox. By the way, for those of you who don't know,
Ooh, all right, there you go.
I had it on my wish list, and I was like, cool, I will buy that with my credit that I have on my Xbox account from all those rewards.
That's
And then I found it in the store, and I already own it.
It's a great game you already have.
Yep.
That's great. Yeah, I wish I could spend more time with that game because there's still so much more stuff left for me to do, but there are also so many other games for me to play in the series. Feyre is right. It is also on Game Pass. Yes.
Sure. Well, $17
For now,
for when it leaves Game Pass.
Yeah, exactly.
So I literally went through the Yakuza series and checked because I'm pretty sure I've been keeping an eye on them for when they're on sale because I know I won't play them until they already have left Game Pass.
Right.
So like I own both of the Judgment games and Yakuza 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Like a Dragon already. And I haven't even played any of them.
Now you just need to get 6 and you've got them all.
I just realized that Like a Dragon was released for PlayStation Plus, so I have that on PlayStation. I'm like, oh, hey, one less one I have to buy.
There you go. Yep. All right.
Which, to be fair, I may just jump into Like a Dragon because the Dragon Quest feel that game has is having a very strong pull on me right now.
Yeah, you don't need to have played really any of the others. If you played 0, right?
Yep, I played 0 and Kiwami 1.
Yeah, you're fine. I my recommended thing would be play 0. If you want to play all the other ones, that would be fine too. But 0 and Like a Dragon 1 will get you kind of where you need to go. Yeah. All right, you guys ready for the other half of this? The other part of this? Yep. The rest of it?
Yes.
We all just need to invest in a training capsule so that way we can spend years in there and come out 2 minutes later in this world.
Yes, boys. Mondo cool. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of December 11th, 2023. Hammerwatch 2 comes out PS5 and Switch. We talked about this a while ago when it came to Xbox platforms and PC. This is the co-op hack and slash roguelike RPG thing. People really liked the first Hammerwatch, and there was a ton of people just being like, yeah, Hammerwatch 2, yeah! So it seems like one of those games that you and a bunch of buddies, as up to 4-player co-op, you and a bunch of buddies kind of play a little bit every week on your kind of play date night. So that seems pretty cool. Hammerwatch 2 seems great. Next up is Bear and Breakfast comes out on PS4 and PS5. This is already on PC and Switch. I don't believe there are any changes to this. It largely seems like it's just out on other platforms at this point. I went and looked to see how it was received. It has a 75 on OpenCritic, which is pretty good. I remembered people really enjoying this when it came out, and it seems like people really did. So.
Yeah, my wife and daughter loved playing this on the PC. So
yeah, I really like their description here. It was Bear and Breakfast is a laid-back management adventure game where you build and run a bed and breakfast, but you're a bear. It's like that's the game. You found it. Next up is Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising for PS4, PS5, and PC. This is the Arc System Works sequel to the first Grand Blue Fantasy versus game.
Yeah. Not the RPG that most of us are still waiting for.
I'm desperately waiting for that to come out at literally any point.
I would say any time now.
Yeah. The first one was really well received. People seem to really like it. This one has, I know this one has crossplay and rollback netcode. I don't believe the first one had those, so that's kind of a big improvement on top of the previous game. And it just kind of seems like this one is, hey, we had a really great game, and we're just going to improve all of it. A lot of it seems like Inside Baseball, where people are like, oh, they finally fixed the Arc System Works term for something, for like wake-up attacks. So I don't understand any of that. But it looks really cool. It looks just like Rainbow.
Parts of this video almost look like a Vanillaware game.
Yeah.
The art style wise.
Yeah, they really nail the Grand Blue Fantasy art style, which is pretty impressive. So
yeah.
But also, please put out that RPG. I don't even remember who's doing that, but please.
I don't either. But
put that out someday, hopefully. Palia? We'll go with Palia. Comes out on Switch and PC. This is a cozy community sim MMO. So it's kind of like your farming, community building, crop planting sort of thing, but in a MMO setting. So also surprising this is only out on PC and Switch. I couldn't find any word of them putting it on other platforms, but that's sort of surprising because it seems like it might do well on everything. Also, this has like a Breath of the Wild style glider thing, so seems it's kind of like a mishmash of a whole bunch of stuff.
The environment looks a lot like Genshin Impact.
Yeah, so I think if you like those games and you want an MMO, Palia might be good.
Give it a go. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up is a game called Bonson Knights. This comes out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series Console, Switch, and PC. It's like an adventure game that looks exactly like an Apple IIe game. In that kind of like heavily dithered, kind of purple and green and red and blue art style. But looks like it might also kind of be that unsettling sort of game, kind of like what was that adventure game taking place in the South that we played for Game Club this past year?
Kentucky Route Zero?
No, the other one, the one about the oil fields. Moon knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, robot dude.
The robot dude.
People building a spaceship.
The one everybody loved last year. Moon will have to look it up. I don't remember what it is, but it looks very much like that kind of thing. So looks pretty neat. Nice to see more games like this are coming to console, because I feel like a lot of times it's like an itch.io game that never really gets released to a wider audience. So that's pretty cool. I like it. That's Bonson Knights. Next up is a game that I thought I was hallucinating when I saw this title. It's Bulletstorm VR. Let's just let that sentence rock around in your brains for a second. Which it sounds like one of the wildest things I could potentially envision in VR. Especially with the
I was going to say, it seems like a super crazy game to put in first-person VR with.
Right. Like, especially with the, grabbing people and throwing them around the environment and stuff.
And all the sliding and jumping that you're doing in the game.
Yeah, this is a very wild thing. And also, impressively...
Norco, Boston.
Norco. Thank you, Norco. Looks very much akin to the kind of sensibilities of Norco. It also looks like this is just Bulletstorm, like the 360 game.
I was gonna say, it looks kind of old.
Yeah, so that's wild. That game was longer than expected, so it's interesting.
That could be really cool, though. Who knows?
Yeah. I also like the sales pitch here is embark on a comically ultra-violent journey, which, yeah. You're not
Did they
wrong.
edit any of the really questionable lines out, is the question?
I don't know, man. The deeper that game got, the way more racist it got in a real bad way. That was not okay back then. So, we'll see. I don't know.
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Was Bulletstorm
bad.
2 any
Yep.
better? I don't think I ever played the second one.
There isn't a second one. There's only
Yeah,
I thought
one.
there was a
never,
second one.
that never came out.
You're thinking
talked about
Rage 2.
That's
No,
right.
I am not thinking Pink Rage 2.
No, no one's thinking about Rage 2. Last game here, we have Nocia. Comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series consoles. This came out on Switch and PC a couple of years ago. This is the randomized visual novel that's a social deduction game. If you think of like the Werewolf game or Among Us. I have owned this on Switch for a really long time and have never gotten around to playing it, and I really need to get around to playing it because this sounds exactly up my alley. So that's cool. And I haven't played anything other than Among Us. I haven't really played any other werewolf game style things. So go check it out. Nocia is supposed to be pretty good. Let's move on to two quick news stories here. We would talk more about both of these. Well, we'd talk more about the second one, but we've been recording for too long now, and we're all tired. The first one was the Game Awards happened this week, and I don't want to talk about it because it sucked worse than usual in so many ways.
41 minutes of awards in a 3.5 or 3 hours, 51-minute show, something like that, and zero mention of layoffs. So, GTFO.
And the thing that kind of broke me this year, hold on, let me find my soapbox again, put it down. Yep. Video games over the last couple of years especially have done a really great job at stopping courting Hollywood. And we're kind of games are standing on their own as their own medium in a way that's not like, look at me, I'm doing cool things too, like movies.
We're moving away from the David Cageification of video games.
Right. But that's all this really was. Like, it has been in the past couple of years, but it felt especially bad this year, especially with Kojima's extended performance on stage, showing literally nothing.
8.5 minutes of talk.
Right, for nothing, which, like, I love me some Kojima, but come on, Keely. It's like, be buddies off stage.
He has a podcast for that.
Yeah. So, like, really disappointing, and I know somebody listening is going to be like, well, I know, but that's the point. Like, it's a trailer show. Yeah, but it doesn't need to be. Like, it doesn't need to be...
It's an award show. It's supposed to be an award show.
It should be an award show. You don't give the accessibility award in the pre-show. You don't knock out four awards back-to-back without a breath in between them just so you can get to the next commercial. Like, it...
You don't turn the music up on a guy who's trying to, or a team who is trying to honor someone who died in the process of making a game.
You don't turn the music up on Aonuma, who's reading something off of his phone to get the translator to speak into it about Tears of the Kingdom. Like, give him a minute, bro. So the whole thing was more of a disappointment than usual. Yeah, there was a bunch of really cool games shown there, but that's not the point anymore.
It was so rushed that that Larian Studios forgot to mention that Xbox was getting Baldur's Gate 3 that moment.
Right. Yep. So, like, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about Day of the Devs 2023, which was really good. It's has historically been the kind of antithesis to the Game Awards themselves. This year was no exception. If you are able to go watch the entire thing, it's maybe an hour long at most. And they show, I don't know, like 20 trailers or something. But the difference for it with me is each developer or team of developers gets a chance to say what they want and tell their story alongside their gameplay. So sometimes it's going to be this kind of really polished thing. It's going to be this thing, a professional voice actor is telling you all about this cool, what is it called? Resistor, story-based cel-shaded arcade racing game. And it seems very polished. And sometimes it's going to be that first game that I can't pronounce the name of, that big cop game that you see on Twitter all the time. You're wandering around a village and there's a giant 50-story tall cop watching over you in the city. Like, you get to see the developers, often inside their own homes, recording on a laptop of theirs, telling their story and showing their game in a way that feels really true to them and their experiences in their game. I really recommend watching it. There's a ton of cool stuff. Let's mention a couple here. Thank Goodness You're Here. A very, very British cool game about you being a little dude helping out a bunch of people in a small town with a series of increasingly weird, odd jobs. Dome King Cabbage. I'm not entirely sure I understand what this thing is, even after watching the trailer for it a couple of times. It's a pixel art JRPG. It's a live-action miniature game. It's also this kind of experimental art thing. I don't know what it is, but I sure as hell want to play it now. Home Safety Hotline. It's a Windows 95 styled horror game where you're helping people that are calling in with some sort of eldritch nightmare that they need tech support with, and you're like flipping through the manuals in your game. They have a really, really smart way of filtering out phobias. So they have this whole list of like arachnophobia and a whole bunch of other stuff. If you filter out those phobias, it just shows the old Internet Explorer broken picture image instead of the picture of a spider or something. So like the picture can't load on the webpage. That's 10 out of 10.
It's the Orange Cassidy gift t-shirt.
100%. It's so good. And last but not least, they showed Vampire Survivors Emergency Meeting DLC, which is Among Us DLC for Vampire Survivors, which feels weird to have like another game in Vampire Survivors, but also makes a whole lot of sense in a really strange way. So who knows what video games are anymore? They're all together in a wonderful slurry inside of Vampire Survivors and Fortnite, apparently.
I think the update, I believe, is us getting adventure mode, which is the single where you playing as a specific character through a short story kind of thing.
Out this past week, and I keep forgetting to fire it up to check what that is, because it looks very cool. So I think the Vampire Survivors Emergency Meeting DLC comes out on December 18th for Xbox and PC platforms, and it comes out for other stuff soon, they say. So I will definitely be purchasing and checking out whatever that is when it comes out, because that's going to be bananas. So,
it's always a great time.
Yeah. That's all of our news stories this week. And that's the end of our episode this week. We've only been recording for the entire day. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Don't forget to go sign up for the Patreon page, patreon.com/E1M1.
Ones are numbers.
The $5 a month tier is a recommended one. You could hear my brain just start shutting down there at that very moment. All the benefits over there are, we put out so many episodes every week and every month. I know I'm the person that runs it, and like the person that gets the money to pay for the hosting. It is a really good deal. So your $5 does go a very, very long way. And your very rich friends, multi-million dollars per month, will go a very long way too. But if you don't have rich friends, totally understand. I'm also a millennial. I don't have rich friends either. You can help us by going on social media, sharing wherever you can, going on the YouTube channel, like, comment, and subscribe. That is a meme, but it still genuinely does work. It helps us with our discovery, helps more people find the show, more people watch it. Reminder that everything that goes on the public feed has a video version as well, that except for dynamic soundtrack, because DMCA. That includes Picking Up the Pixels, Critical Misses, We Roguelike It, all that stuff, and the 2 holiday shows that come out. We have video versions of those. It will probably take multiple hours to upload them to YouTube, but they will be there and airing while we're on podcast holiday. I think that's it. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
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 Okay, Nimp. What are your titles?
I just have 3 quick ones.
Okay.
You can teach a pod to caster. Just a box. And the levels Jello.
Okay. 2 caster. All right, Moon, what do you have?
You can teach a pod to caster, loosens the collar, just a box, mask up and go, creepy puppet show, I called it, the spirit of punk, a distinct feel, I don't want to download Fortnite, Lego Vegeta, all things to all men, and no one is thinking of Rage 2.
I gotta write down Lego Vegeta, and no one's thinking of Rage 2. That's probably not gonna win because there's other good stuff, but that one's really good. I have cool. I'm gonna smoke you. You can teach a podcaster, just a box, Lego Vegeta, and no one's talking about Rage 2. No one's thinking of Rage
Come on,
2.
dude.
I'm sorry.
You know, based on your reaction alone, don't get me wrong, I love you can teach a pod to caster.
That's a 10 out of 10 title.
I think it has to be Lego Vegeta because you can't say it without giggling.
It's so dumb.
All right, yeah, let's go with that one then.
Hold on. Lego Fortnite Vegeta. Lego Goku Black. I don't want Lego Goku Black. I want Lego Vegeta. God. Oh, it's not in the game yet. That's fine.
All right.
Soon. Stay tuned to a future episode of TVGP
Lego
where we talk
Fortnite
about
cast.
Lego Fortnite again. Oh,
right.
God. Okay.
So Vegeta, and I already have a title. Let's go.
I'm good to go too.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 842 for December 11th, 2023. Lego Vegeta.
Click off the black hair, click on the blue hair.
He's over 9,000 pieces!
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We got to go record more stuff. Oh, God. All right. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.